Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrish, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
Coming soon, we'll be talking to Kelly Thompson, probably the end of October. But for now, welcome back to another episode of The Capes and Lunatics. Now with 100% more us. I am Phil, joining me as always. That he's got the Aquaman blue camouflage on tonight. In New Jersey, it is.
Charlie, the Professor S. I remember with those full videos, those are topless movie reviews. So factor that into your budgets.
Who's topless? We'll see. And speaking of underwater, coming to you live from Florida, it is.
Hey y'all, it's Little Cowfire.
Oh, look who's in the chat room. Hi, Chantal.
Chantal has entered the chat.
Hi, Chantal.
It's not. I put.
No. In our case, the asylum is run by the patients.
Chantal, I switched everything over to our billing, so yes, it is more 100% us right now.
Yay, billing. I don't know how that works. But anyway, I don't care about money. Philip, what is the topic for tonight's discussion? Because I understand there was groundbreaking news.
Well,
I thought
in the world of Spider-Man,
would it make more sense to do the comic books and then do the review and lead into the discussion?
Well, whatever you want to do, man.
However Phil wants to do it, I don't care.
I mean, I don't care. Do we want to do all the other comic books and then lead up to Amazing Spider-Man 73, the penultimate
I was very
issue?
excited about Amazing Spider-Man number 73.
The penultimate issue of Nick Spencer's run. Take a drink.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh, and just to warn you kids, yes, to wrap up his run, next issue is 74, which is Legacy 875, will be 96 pages and $10.
$10! Get your savings! Get your bonds! Get your stocks!
96 pages, $10. Yep. They better
undo. What are they going to put 96 pages? Is this going to be 96 pages of, like, these are the extra 4 comic books I've already written and drew, or have had drawn, but they kind of just want to have a big lump to put here. I don't know.
You don't un-Mephisto a situation in 22 pages, Charlie Esser.
You could. You could.
You know, I always think people always overemphasize Mephisto's power. See, this is my thing. To me,
I'm just waiting for
Mephisto's like Gandalf. Everyone talks about how powerful he is, but
Lilith, I think
what has he really done? He's lit off a few fireworks. Made a couple distractions here and there. Maybe
that will be the big spoil. Maybe that'll be the big twist. Maybe it wasn't Mephisto all along. Maybe it was, Mysterio and, Demon Harry Osborn.
Or
it was Gwen Stacy. Come on. We all know it was Gwen Stacy.
It was Clum. He just drugged the whole world.
It was Willie Lumpkin. There we go.
I'm just waiting.
Willie Lumpkin. Well, see, now Willie Lumpkin as Mephisto. That one makes sense. And honestly, Willie Lumpkin, like, if you were a Skrull and you were looking for who to... It's like Stan Lee said, if I was a Skrull and I wanted to take over the world, who would I replace? Oh, Aunt May. Willie Lumpkin. Those old people. That everyone cares about and will drop everything for, but that can just go wherever they want and no one cares. And,
Aunt May dated Willie Lumpkin in the 90s for a hot minute. Maybe that was a Skrull.
Yeah,
No. Mephisto confirmed. Uncle Ben is Mephisto confirmed.
But no, I'm just waiting for them to say, they keep teasing that whole thing with Doctor Strange talking to Mephisto. I'm just waiting for Mephisto to say, why, Steven, it wasn't me. And then, just be like, well, wait a minute. who erased the Spider-Man.
It was Wanda in the kitchen.
No, I'm just waiting for them to say who erased Spider-Man's identity from the whole world. Because remember, he came out in Civil War. I'm just waiting for Mysterio to be like, my greatest trick ever. Ha 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 ha.
Well, but literally, what has been the official canon answer is Strange and Reed Richards did it. Probably using that Sentry device that the Sentry used. Because that has come up more than once already.
Well, okay, I read them all today. Okay, in one more day, Mephisto. They make the deal with Mephisto. He, switches everything around, and then one moment in time, like 100 issues later, there was kind of the storyline of like, okay, nobody remembers Mephisto's thing. So what does everyone remember? And that's why Peter remembers it was Strange, Reed Richards, and Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
So the
captain of bad life decisions.
So they decide, they're like, you know what, we don't need the, we've been messing stuff up. We don't need to remember Peter's identity. Peter can be the only one who remembers Peter's identity. So just like in that trailer, Strange starts to spell, and like Mary Jane's there, and Peter's like, no, I can't, I can't lie to her. I can't do it without her. So he grabs her because there's like a protective bubble where Peter would stand. So he'd be the only one to remember. So he drags Mary Jane into the bubble. So she remembers too. So.
Yeah. And by the way, when I say the captain of bad life decisions, and you just said Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Peter Parker, who am I talking about?
The board of directors of
honestly
bad life decisions. Okay.
Yeah. It's oh god. Yeah, well, but that's the thing. And first off, I'm still not convinced No Way Home has anything to do with parallel universes or anything. All the previous Spider-Man films were all about deception and misdirection, and it's not what you think it is, and who you think is who they are isn't who they are.
I told you, man. I heard the theory. I love it. I want him to be quantum leaping all through them Spider-Man movies. Come on.
No, like I said, I think it's all too obvious, but that's a story for another day. We're talking about Spider-Man with the hyphen.
Hoping the next thwip
73.
Thwip home.
Yes. Well, no, there will never be a thwip home.
All right. So yeah, this thing for a regular size issue. They packed a lot in here. Yes, kids.
It got confusing. I'm going to be honest with you. As a casual, and maybe that's my problem for choosing to be a casual and not an ardent fan, and that's why the gatekeepers are there to say, that's why we don't let you in here, you. If you don't know Spider-Man's shoe size, you must leave. That's
what I'm saying, Charlie Esther. I've been reading Spider-Man like monthly since I was like 10 or 11, and there's time I was reading this. There are times I'm like, wait a minute, back up, wait, what?
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. So okay, spoilers ahead.
Yes.
Here there be spoilers. We clearly have two Harry Osborns existing simultaneously. One and probably both are clones.
Well, from the way it looks like, okay, kids, back in Sin's Past, they made it look like Norman believed it, that he slept with Gwen Stacy and had two kids, and thanks to that goblin formula, they had accelerated aging. But now here it's revealed they were, it's a Spider-Man book, they're clones. I guess Harry was doing weird. The poor Gwen cannot rest in peace, man. If the Jackal cloning her over and over, now Harry Osborn's doing stuff with her DNA.
Well, to be fair, this was all like hypnosis, weirdly enough.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, no, you just thought you had sex with a teenage girl, Norman Osborn. So.
And he was like, you know what? Yeah, that tracks. That's something I would do.
Yeah, I would totally. But
that's the real story.
I do love that Harry basically says, come on, you really thought she'd be into you?
Hey, come on.
Well, he is rich.
Look at yourself. Just honestly look at yourself.
It's New York and he's rich, to be fair. If you know, you know.
The ego on Norman, he swallowed that real quick. It's just like, oh, yeah, of course that happened.
Well, this is why I'm especially once you involve both the Chameleon and Mysterio. I'm always looking for the deception. I'm always looking for that M. Night Shyamalan third act twist. It's like, nope, that's not what it was.
It was
We
me,
made you-
Barry.
We set all the clues because we set those clues because we're setting clues. It's like a Columbo frame-up where the guy just sets all the clues so that you'll look at this other person they want to be arrested for the crime. But Columbo is too smart, so immediately he looks like, well, those are clearly placed clues. So whenever I'm reading a book and I see a clearly placed clue, I get all Columbo about it. And I'm like, just one more thing. Just one more thing. And, you know.
And in the original story, Mary Jane tells Peter, Gwen told me all about it. So, of course, hey, how did we clear that up? Well, we have to hypnotize Mary Jane, too, to give her fake memories.
Man, hypnosis is mental kung fu in comic books.
Truly.
You can literally
and amnesia.
but that's what I always say is like, kung fu is that power that if you have it, as we'll see when we talk Shang-Chi later on maybe super connectivity, that doesn't matter who you're doing it on. It's like, I know kung fu, and that is just by its nature more powerful in any physical conflict. Like you could kung fu Galactus if you had to. And hypnosis, it's like you could hypnotize Galactus clearly if it helped the story. If it helped the story, Dr. Faustus could just boop, 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 and I don't feel hungry anymore. Now I want to eat moons. I don't know why. I'm just going to do it.
They're tasty because they're made of cheese.
Hey, but man, they even dragged the Spider-Man Legacy of Evil one shot from the 90s into this thing. Basically an AI that's like a mix of Harry and Norman, sends out like 3 female goblin robots to kidnap little Normie, to dunk him in goblin juice so he can become the next goblin. But
by the way, just so I know, what is the status of Normie in this whole thing?
He's alive. He's out there with his mother.
He is Franklin Richards.
Yeah,
he's old as we need him to be.
He's a Franklin Richards, man. He ages up and down as you need.
But Normie is Harry's kid, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By whom?
Harry and Liz Allen.
Liz Allen.
Yes.
And that's who runs Alchemax, is Liz Allen, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm trying to get all my lines sorted. Because that's the weird thing about this whole thing is, when Goblin Harry, because, we have normal Harry and Goblin Harry in this. And they're clearly the same person, but clearly living separate lives. When Goblin Harry is talking to Norman, and says, no, you still only have one son. Which is ironic because technically he has 2 sons. But probably both sons are clones.
Yeah.
Because we see the corpse body, which, is a skeleton but still has Osborn hair.
Thank you. I'm picking that up, man.
The waves! You can't beat them waves!
What's more indestructible than adamantium? Those Osborn white man cornrows, man. Look, that body's completely decomposed except for that hair.
Honestly, and people make fun of it, but I do know people that do have exactly that hair. And that is exactly what it looks like. It is like a Brillo pad on your head that just grows in this exact same pattern. Went to school with a kid, and honestly, you'd look at it and you're like, I want to touch his hair. And you didn't, because that would be impolite. But it was clearly his hair just had this natural permanence to it that could not move. And so I always knew when they were drawing that what look they were going for. Obviously, they went to school with a kid that had that hair too.
I was gonna say, can you imagine they threw that in back in the day? And then it's lasted for 60 years. Maybe they knew someone with that hair, and
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like it is. like if you meet someone who has that hair, it is interesting because it's not curly hair. It is wiry hair that grows in a pattern, and it does have this weird wave to it. I don't know what does it. I don't think these kids in 6th grade were spending 4 hours on their hair every morning. I think that it was just that is how it grew out of their head. Because these were boys too. And so it wasn't like, oh, we had to make your hair look presentable. It was like, oh, it's a boy. His hair's on his head. Send him to school. And so I do know this exists in the wild. So yeah, and it is indestructible, clearly, because obviously the corpse has the hair. Because that's how you'd know.
Yeah, so it seems like there's a regular Harry Osborn that's been running around since Brand New Day, and now and then like I don't know, maybe it's the soul of Harry or something that's like inhabiting the Gwen Stacy daughter clone thing.
No, I mean they're clearly both clones. Harry died of a drug overdose years ago in that episode that book that didn't get the Comics Code approval.
No, he did not die.
Norman,
he did not die there.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, spectacular.
I guarantee you, mark my words, by the end of this, Harry died of a drug overdose in that issue. When the pills were dancing around him, that was him shuffling off this mortal coil. Norman couldn't accept it. Got the Jackal to clone him, and that's what we're dealing with since.
Well, no, the whole thing with the ambulance, I mean, that's where he died in Spectacular Spider-Man 200. But he got some bad goblin juice.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's all... I'm just saying it's clones all the way down.
Lil.
Oh my god, like, who the hell does... Okay, look, no offense to Nick Spencer, but who the hell does Nick Spencer think he is on his way out trying to undo the most convoluted goblin history and creepy storyline? Who do you think you are, sir?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's actually trying to be a good writer and put the toys back in the box.
Well, he's like...
Is what he's trying to do.
He's like 20 years too late. Like, just let it be, bro. Because it's been a convoluted mess. Like, I do not appreciate this. That's all that I can say about it.
Was this maybe a mandate, too? It's like, hey, can you, fix sins past and one more day, maybe next issue?
Baby doll, stop holding on to hope for one more day.
First off, I'm going to assume they didn't say, hey, in one issue, can you fix it? I'm sure Nick Spencer came in with a pitch.
How long has this Kendrick saga been going on? How many ever?
Since issue 1. And now
exactly.
Now it's 73.
Exactly.
I get the feeling he came in with the pitch. I want to create a grand unified theory of Spider-Man. Here are my notes. Here's my math. You can double check my math, because they want math at Marvel Comics. They do. And he said, here's what I got. Here's how I think we can square all the circles and circle all the squares to make this make sense.
And
now we're going to have to do a whole big separate event with Mephisto. I'm going to leave that to you guys. But I think if we just say Mephisto does Mephistoing, it's going to work.
I mean, again, I think that he might have been... since he's going to Substack, maybe this was plotted out. They drag even longer. That's what I'm saying. Look, these last couple issues, I think they were hurrying up. It's like he's like hurrying up.
We thought it was going to come at 50, and it didn't.
Hell.
So it's like if you can't tell your grand unified theory, like even over at X-Men, we're not on 50 issues.
But again, too, it's another Clone Saga thing from the 90s where it's like editorial or whoever's telling them,
I think editorial is a lot more savvy and learn their lessons.
And drag it out.
Like seriously, they are, because you just don't have time to sink into comics at this time, especially in this climate. So. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure it out,
and I know
this is the main book. Like, what are we doing?
And I know I sound like a sweet summer child, but it's like, you don't think they want to undo that whole thing with their flagship character making a deal with the devil back at the end of 2000.
A devil, not the devil. I mean,
it's
New York.
Let's be fair.
Yeah, that's their. Yeah, I know, but.
I mean, Pete's a dumb kid at the end of the day.
I reread it today. Mephisto even says they're like, oh, why do you want our marriage? He's like, oh, well, it's one of the most perfect loves, and it would hurt him, and basically implying God. So it's like,
Okay, Mephisto's Aunt May confirmed. Aunt May never's really been a fan. She never really liked Anna either.
Hey.
They were just the gossipy neighbors. Like hashtag fight me
Hey,
about this.
when they make that deal, where does Peter wake up? In Aunt May's house. You may be right.
It's one of the
So he could have been
Parkers.
referring to the readers, because it could be just that Mephisto is the spirit of writers who hate the readers.
Oh, Corsair.
And
true.
so, which is, all writers. Because,
I mean, they might. They're. This is bordering Dan Harmon amounts of hating your audience.
yeah.
I
Just
mean,
like
Hashtag
people
no more
watch
Rick and
the
Morty
show.
for me.
oh my!
I'm out.
I mean, there was a faction over there, man. They wanted to get rid of that Spider-Man marriage in the worst way, but it's like,
Joke's on you. That's all people ever ask about when they're gonna bring that marriage back.
See,
God-
but that's the thing. It's like,
God forbid
You
he
know,
give him
Superman's got it.
God forbid he gets a divorce, but he can make a deal with the devil.
well, the whole thing is that it is, here's the thing. It's like it becomes established that, oh yeah, I have had a long life and I've gotten married. No one gets mad about. You know what the problem is that because Peter was kind of the town pump and had a lot of girls, and I'm gonna slut shame Peter. It's fine.
There were like 3 chicks.
No,
he's had at least.
Well, he started.
I mean,
with
he's no
seven.
Johnny
Main
Storm.
chicks. We don't count Betty because she's a predator.
Oh, well, he did string along.
I count Betty.
Well, he
'cause-
he was stringing
He
along.
was taken advantage of. Come on, he was 15 and she was like 30.
But you know what? He's still. You know what? I'm gonna look. It's not like she had power over him in that situation.
Something had power over something.
Well, yeah, I know it had power over him, and it was the power.
Teenage
It was the
hormone.
power of Peter compels you, is what it was.
The power of Peter, indeed.
Exactly. So and to be fair, yeah, we can discuss Betty in that situation as much as you want. Although, again, from the '60s, we don't know how old Betty is in that situation.
Older than him, at least in college.
And plus, they were all smoking cigarettes.
Well,
in the
not
50s, though. Come on.
necessarily. That was a thing. It's like people don't remember back when people didn't get educated. You would just go to work in your teens, and so being a 19-year-old secretary was not unheard of. And so when the 16-year-old comes in, maybe you're like, I'm gonna give it a throw. What the heck, You can make. I'm telling you, it's like it gets weird when you go back in the past because the world used to be very different than today.
But then we have a sliding time scale, so
Yeah, well, that's always the problem because then some people get older and some people get younger, and it's like,
Steve
this
Franklin
doesn't make any
Richard's a
sense.
And the only things that don't change are the Osborne hair and Jameson's mustache.
And Uncle Ben's dead.
That we know.
Hey, where he should be,
I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of disappointed. It's such a tangled clusterfuck.
I think I mean, yeah, it's probably convoluted and probably more so because Spencer was probably going to be on here longer until he made the deal to leave. But I'm thinking they're trying to unscrew the two biggest controversial events in Spider history: One More Day and Norman stopping Gwen.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, at least they did one of those well.
Yeah.
Oh.
To say, no, you never did that. That never happened. That was all clones and LMDs and your own ego.
It took the smallest bit of hypnosis and your own ego, Norman.
Exactly. It's like, you know what, Norman, you're kind of stupid when it comes to how great you are.
That just tells you what a creep he is, really. He's like, yeah, I could see that. No questions asked.
But did we need to know? I mean, it's like this. We needed to know it for the scene. So it's like, oh, now it all makes sense.
Norman
It's like, if anything comes out of this and is fully embraced by the fandom, everyone's going to say, yes, Norman Osborn is a creep who got convinced that he stooped a teenager, got her pregnant, and created 2 children. That is absolutely a believable universe for the fandom.
Norman is so creepy. I was waiting for him to say, "Son, you couldn't have given me the redhead too."
Oh my!
I mean,
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put it to you this way. I feel like as the mystery gets deeper, it gets even more messy, and the answer's still elude. They're still on the peripheral, and it's just. And I feel like the answer's not gonna be like what we think it is. The breadcrumbs are leading to the oven in the witch's cabin. Okay, not salvation.
And along those lines, speaking of the oven in the witch's cabin, you know, as we're talking about all this, there is also Strange in Mephisto's casino. Willingly, stupidly. But
he is an arrogant punk. That is the thing about Doctor Strange, which drives me absolutely insane.
Well, yeah. Well, they're going to
does not deserve to be Sorcerer Supreme. We both agree on that.
Which is why
about to pay
at the end of the death of Doctor Strange, it will be hashtag Make Wong Supreme.
Hashtag
because you know
happy dance.
You know what I think? I know the way Marvel's operating these days. They love their branding. You know who's going to be the Sorcerer Supreme. I know we're hoping for Ben Riley, Lilith, but you know who's going to be Sorcerer Supreme. I guarantee you. Watch. It's probably going to be the Scarlet Witch.
No,
that's probably why they quote unquote killed her. Whatever brings her back, it's going to be a thing where she becomes the Sorcerer Supreme or something.
I hope not.
Yeah, no,
we gotta reunite the House of M. Like she's got other stuff to do.
I guarantee you, it's going to be Wong. Because he is it
would make up for the Ancient One for sure. So.
Well, the whole thing about Wong is that the way they've positioned him in the movies, making Wong Sorcerer Supreme will actually and again, it's this idea that it's not a role Wong ever sought.
And that's the person you want.
Exactly. It's like, you know what? The guy who doesn't want it, which is actually arguably why Steven was a good person for it. Because it's not like he sought to be Sorcerer Supreme. He wanted to get his hands fixed. He wanted to do this thing. But you have this idea of a guy who has always been an esoteric monk, but just wanted to study and just know the best and do what was right for the universe. Maybe that's the best guy to be Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, but it's whoever gets it's only going to be temporary.
Yeah, it's for more sensationalized purposes.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to give it the Wong.
It's not going to stick.
Well, no, because you can bring Stephen Strange back as a master of the mystic arts without making him Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, but once Doctor Strange 2 hits theaters, they're going to be bringing him back. You know that.
Unless that's how Doctor Strange 2 ends. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, don't ever assume.
Give it to Ant-Man's flying head in a jar. I'm okay with that. That was a Marvel Zombies reference.
I was going to say, you mean, Deadpool standing, Headpool standing.
Yes, I have ridden the mighty moonworm, and have come to you all.
But no, I'm just telling you, mark my words, it's going to be Scarlet Witch. It's going to be a whole redemption thing of trying to hurt.
No, it's going to be Ben Riley or we riot.
Sorry. Hey, he's going to be busy smacking down the UFOs and Morbius and Kraven the Hunter.
So long as it's not Doom. That's all I say.
Yeah.
He finally got that piece of mystic butt from freaking Morgan Le Fay, and that's how he became.
Oh yeah, he was looking for Morgan Le Fay, Excalibur. Yeah.
Just saying.
In another universe, there is a daughter of Doom with Morgan Le Fay, who I would love to see as the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be like something or some power or something is going to be looking for the next Sorcerer Supreme on Earth. Meanwhile, Doom's in space with the Guardians of the Galaxy and misses his chance. He's going to be like, son of a...
No!
First off, it's the Sorcerer Supreme of this dimension. He's not just Earth, although obviously Earth is the axis mundi of the universe. So.
Okay, it's like they'll purposely overlook him, but he'll be like, "I was off Earth. It should have been me."
He's not good good as a magic user. He is literally just because he doesn't.
He's a petty dabbler. We know. He doesn't know that.
He dropped out of that school too.
Exactly. He's a petty dabbler in science. He's a petty dabbler in sorcery. He's really good at both, but that doesn't make him the supreme, you know? If he had been a dedicated scientist just to unlock truths and knowledge for the universe like Reed Richards, he probably would have bested Reed Richards. And Reed Richards would have been happy to work with him. If he had been a sorcerer who simply dedicated himself to sorcery, he would have been the most powerful sorcerer ever. And people would have been pleased at all of the great he did, but his goal was much more important than the petty affairs of one little kingdom. Like, maybe out of nostalgia, he would make sure that, you know, the rain always fell on the crops in Latveria, but honestly, he would not be dedicating himself so much to it, nor wanting to control it so down to the micro level. He is so bound in his earthly domain, he can never be the best at anything esoteric.
But
He
don't you
really
think
should have just been a supervillain and like built big old robots and conquered the world.
I mean, the Doombots are more competent than him. Scroll down over on the other feed.
Yeah, I mean, because they're the best version of him. They're the version of him that he wants himself to be. That's the thing with Doombots, is the Doombots are AI that is both smarter and more moral and more
Horny.
more practical than Doom.
Oh, I know,
Oh,
man.
what I was going to say is that this has to actually... Nick Spencer has a lot of pressure to end this on a actual successful note because he's going off on his own. And I just hope that it does that for him. Otherwise, it's going to be like this whole cloud over his name, you know.
Again, one more issue, 96 pages, so.
Yeah, he'll do fine. He's
People
already
hold
halfway
grudges nowadays. They're very stingy with their money. They're quick to cancel a person.
That's,
I don't know.
you know
Comic
what?
book fans are petty, bro. I don't
mean,
know.
I mean, it wasn't the prettiest thing, but he fixed one mess, so let's see if he can
Yeah,
fix the
he's gonna do
And
enough.
there's going to be people pissed about that. That's just how it
Why?
goes.
Why? Who's the fan that's like, I really liked it when Norman had Gwen?
Yeah,
There is a subset. Don't get it twisted.
And to be fair, this is all business, you know, as it always has been, which is why Jack Kirby was always welcome back at Marvel and always welcome back at DC, because all
Those
things
times
being,
are gone, sweetie. Those times are so gone.
No, they're even more the reality now. I don't think people are that petty in business. Although obviously Bob Chapek does make you think that it's still there. I'm not saying it's not still there. I'm just saying that businesses that are successful aren't there. And what makes you successful is being willing to look beyond it and say, you know what, welcome back. Yeah, I'm sorry that thing didn't work out. We were really rooting for you. If you want to work with us, we're more than happy. I mean, hell, they're all still waiting. Everybody has a check ready for Alan Moore the minute he wants to write comic books again at one of the big two. There is not DC, Marvel, they will all write him that check the second he shows up. If he came to them with a number that wasn't ridiculous.
Not this DC executive board.
Well, I don't know about DC. I can't speak to DC. I speak to
Marvel's
the
getting
larger,
there. I'm just
larger
saying-
Disney hegemony of
Disney
our
is
current
a
culture.
cutthroat, ruthless business. You just don't hear about it as often because they have good PR. Is my point that I'm making. So
No, I'm
Nick
sure
has,
it's very
in his
cutthroat.
best interest to make this as in a neatest bow as possible, and I hope that he can pull that off with the 96 pages.
All
at
right.
The end of the
Here's
day.
what I'm going to say: is the first rule about being cutthroat is you say sorry if you cut the wrong throat, and you just say, "Hey, my bad." That's why pencils have erasers, my friend.
Cut you, bro.
All is forgiven. Come on back.
Okay, and forget that Osborne hair. I mean, no matter how many times you clone her, that damn hairband, no matter what version of Gwen Stacy it is, always has to have that damn hairband. That
So
headband.
it's
It's
not
her
some other
look. She
random
pulls it
blonde.
off.
I know, but I'm saying it's like on a
I
genetic.
mean, her and Felicia kind of, if you glance the wrong way. I'm just saying that the headband is iconic, sir.
Whoa.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in some Spider-Man comic book was like, "Yeah, she always wore uh, hairbands and raincoats, but she pulled it off." You know, it was an artist designing a character that they decided that was her iconic look, and oh please, Stanley never gave notes on how to draw a character.
No, I know.
I will guarantee. Stanley says, there's a blonde he likes.
He's
So draw a blonde, okay?
probably Ramita Senior. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and then people just say, well, no, we have to draw that. That is how they did in the before, so we must continue the tradition.
Like an identifier.
Exactly.
That's
the thing about an iconic look. It makes you stand out.
Exactly.
All right.
And
So
Gwen Stacy might be dead, but she's iconic. She's a legend, and she is the moment, okay?
Somehow, man, I will never understand that.
It's thanks to Ghost Spider. Let's just be honest.
true.
Well,
That's
Ghost.
relevant.
Does she have what do you call that when you have that hard plastic thing that you put in your hair to hold it back? Because it's not like really a hairband. And it wasn't a barrette. But I remember that, or what are those clippy things that you do to hold your hair back? But it was like it looked like Jordy's visor, and girls would.
Yeah, they call those headbands too. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't know.
banana clips. I think is the '80s term for it.
I don't
Possibly.
know.
Possibly.
Poor Philip.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about some other books.
Oh, other books, yeah, because that was a lot. And Phil, do you have any more you want to talk about this book? 'Cause there's a lot to unpack in this book.
Yeah, no. Let's get the other books.
Phil's Comics Corner.
Okay. I got a bunch. Do we want indie books or Marvel books? I have no DC books because honestly, I think Robin's my only current DC book.
I thought you were giving Robin up,
I might have.
just like Batman did.
Heyo.
Ew. But I do have indie books. I've got two. Oh, here. I know you like these.
Oh my!
Lilith, did you read Mirror War #0?
No.
IDW? Oh.
Oh-ho.
So this is my
Since
first.
when did IDW get the Star Trek title? I thought that was someone else.
Well, I mean, who knows? But
Every couple
honestly,
of
they're
years
keeping
it
some kind of
bounces out.
continuity because there's all this reference back to, you were supposed to bring us back that Enterprise from the other universe, and you didn't. We let you have the Enterprise that we had. But I have to just say how awesome Picard is in this because he is like Arnold Schwarzenegger Picard. This is not doddering old Picard that we're getting in our Picard series. This is like
He's J.K. Simmons.
this is freaking Dune Picard. For those who remember Dune, and when Picard was a BA, this is like, what if he was just a BA his whole career, and
He didn't get
was
that
like
damn heart condition.
Yeah, well, it's like what if who's that guy from the detective show Moonlighting?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. What if Bruce Willis and Jean-Luc Picard had a baby, and they had to make action films into their 90s? That is what this is. It is beautiful. You got our Borgified Data. You've got Bug-Eyed LaForge. There's our Bug-Eyed LaForge, if you can see him. You also have one of the things I think is the most interesting thing is an obsession with Barclay. Because apparently in the last storyline, Barclay got left in the regular universe where he tried to capture and then imprison regular Barclay to take his place so that he could steal all this stuff from that universe. Apparently the emperor of the Terran Empire is, I don't know who it is, and they never mention his name. But I'm guessing it's neither Archer nor Pike, but he is clearly doddering and about to die. I don't even think it's Kirk. Let me double check here. I mean, honestly, he looks way more like Q than Kirk. So I don't know. I don't know if this is my first real delving into this comic mirrorverse, but it's really fun. And basically, by the end of it, Picard and Wrecker decide they're going to take over the Empire. We had a great scene with O'Brien basically fixing Geordi and Data's thing that wasn't working right, because actually O'Brien is the best engineer, as we learned.
No matter
from
what
Lower Decks.
universe. True.
No matter what universe, he's actually better than all you robots and college educated.
Smiley! Oh, Smiley!
Yeah, you know. There's a whole scene in here where, like, Picard is mad because he basically feels Barclay went AWOL. I will not tolerate that on my ship. They go back to the regular universe to bring Barclay back. Honestly, this is going on the pull list. Mirror War by Star Trek by IDW. It is 100% one of my favorite books as a Star Trek fan in Star Trek Day week. So pick it up, kids. You might enjoy it.
All right, love. What what do you got?
Who the hell does Deadpool think he is with black, white, and blood? Like, what in the DC is going on over there? In that editor's office of Deadpool.
Hey man, we got a Carla Pacheco story in there.
I know! I was like, what? I'm so confused. I like it, but I'm confused.
Is this meant to be a parody, like, of, you know, Spider-Man Red and Daredevil Yellow and Captain America Blue?
Well,
and,
they already did like a Carnage series like this. They did a Wolverine too. So I mean, it's kind of
the Carnage one wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But is it meant to be like a tongue-in-cheek parody of what they've already done?
I mean, again, just like all of them, it's like there was 3 stories in here, so it's just, you know, again, it's like basically.
I take it as them riffing on DC, doing that whole thing with Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. That's the way that I saw it, because it's specifically the black, white, and blood.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But it's very meta, which I think, 2021 Deadpool has to be. And they handled it very well.
Yeah. And again, they were really milking the franchise before. Now I think they're just at the
They're
moment.
taking their time with it. Yeah, they don't want to get it oversaturated before Ryan Reynolds reappears.
Yeah, at the moment
the
they're just doing like mini series and stuff. Yeah.
You don't want
That's
Ryan
the
Reynolds
olden
to
times
shut
of
up.
Deadpool.
Oh wait, look! Do you see the insert? We got a announcement from the Beyond Corporation.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah. I noticed that, he should have never taught that guy to use the toilet.
Wow! So you think it's Beyond?
That's my deep dive, kids. Look it up. Look it up.
I don't know. Someone gave him a pretty durable suit. Although, how durable does it have to be to take out Bushwhacker? Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Spider-Man and the Beyonder, it was unspoken. It was, I get the feeling that as much as the Beyonder loved Wonder Woman, not Wonder Woman, Dazzler. I don't know where that came from. He also said, but my best friend, of course, is Spider-Man. He won't say it. If you want to put a label on it, my best friend is Spider-Man.
What did you see? I guess Miles is going to be too happy that Ben's taken over. So
Poor kid, can't catch a break.
maybe he's still just gun shy around clones.
Can't blame him.
Yeah. So did you want to say anything else about Deadpool, though?
No, I mean, it's a $5 book. Just if you're gonna pick it up, that's just something to be aware of. I really like the art, and the stories are fun. And it's been a while since I've been happy with a Deadpool story, and you get 3. So that's all I can say about it. I think it's a pick it up.
Oh, you know what I finally got after 2 weeks? I did pick up Superman 78 #1.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it seems like the beginning
Very
of
nostalgia heavy.
the beginning of a Superman movie, except Brainiac shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that they had planned that in some of that original Superman stuff. So I feel like they're using some of the old ideas and stuff, which I found really cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you like all that Christopher Reeve Superman stuff, yeah, I'd definitely say pick this up.
If you're tired of mainstream Superman, definitely pick that up. We need to go back to we need to go back to a hopeful era for Superman. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay, while I don't know what he's doing, but while he's gone, yeah, Raiders, you need to get Gus Gorman in here if you want Charlie Esser to buy you.
No, don't listen to them.
I don't know. He mentioned it to David Walker, and David Walker's like, that's a good idea.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, he's still gone. Infinite Frontier, the final issue. Did you happen to read that at all?
I didn't. Thank God it's the final issue.
Yeah, but it's setting up Justice Infinite or whatever with President Superman and Flashpoint Batman.
Nobody's buying these books. I don't know why they keep going forward with this Infinite Frontier crap, aka 5G.
Well,
they're hemorrhaging money on these books,
yeah.
bro.
So
it's crazy.
That whole thing at the end with Multiverse 2, are they bringing back like the pre-crisis multiverse? Is that what they're doing?
Of course, that's what they've been up to this whole time. That's what we want. That's what sells.
So, it said
I could just wake up tomorrow and they could just tell me that the multiverse is back. We don't have to drag out this Infinite Frontier garbage. Like, we're comic book readers. We will just take it at face value. We don't need a whole event.
So are we going the complete opposite way now? Or are we going to give like Jay his own Earth, Barry his own Earth, and Wally his own Earth?
They better not.
No,
that's cheap, man.
And again, DC, that was your strength, the legacy characters. It's like,
they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand their valuable demographic. They really don't. Just when I thought they were actually getting it, they're back to being DC.
Well, at least
I've been in a love-hate relationship with them for 10 years at this point, since 2011, since New 52, and I am quite frankly very sick of it.
Well, at least this kind of promises they're going to sideline Barry for the rest of the year, so we don't have to worry about Wally.
Yeah. Now, can they do that for everybody else? Can Green Arrow and Aquaman get their own individual books? Can Wonder Woman actually be good? Can Justice League not be written by a popish jackass? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't like I don't like the way. I don't like that team. I don't like the dynamics.
Oh,
I don't like anything about that book.
Did you read some of it?
Yes, I did. Just out of morbid curiosity, just to confirm my suspicions. It's this grandiose ego. I can't with it anymore.
Why, the Black Adam stuff or just everything?
Well, it starts with the Black Adam stuff, and then it spreads to everything else and infects it. It's just not good dynamics. And then coupled with his dialogue, it's just the art's the best thing about the book, and that's being generous.
Oh my.
It's Justice League. I used to always look forward to Justice League books.
I know.
Can we get Brian Hicks back? I mean, he had it on time. He wrote it and did the art. I'm just saying. What is he doing? We need him back on Justice League.
All right, cool down, kid. Charlie Esser, what's your next book?
Oh, well, I was going to show again. So you want to talk about Conan?
Oh, that was a good book.
Lilith loves Conan.
I do.
And I'm here for Lilith all the time.
Conan 25. Yes.
Number 300 by Legacy Numbers.
Ooh. We don't do Legacy Numbers.
I don't know what the 300 means. Because there was a Conan the Barbarian color comic. Then there was a Conan the Barbarian black and white magazine.
Were they all Marvel?
Yeah, these are all Marvel.
Okay.
Marvel had Conan for a really long time.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the biggest mistakes Marvel ever made was actually just buying the rights to characters instead of just making a pastiche. But they defined Conan. They defined Conan in such an amazing way. But this is their 300th issue. You actually even have a whole... Our first story is with Balit.
Oh, I know what'll get Phil's interest really quick. Dan Slott did a story in here, just so you know.
Which one was Dan Slott's? Well, this was Jim Zub, the first one. I think Jim Zub's our regular writer. It was cool. We get this whole thing where Conan and Belit have to fight 3 versions of Conan: his older self, the Conan the King; his younger self.
I love when they do these little history snippets, if you will. I think it's so cool. It's such a great way to showcase his history.
My biggest complaint about this entire book series is that no one has brought back Redbeard, which is a deep dive character. He is the original D-Man. And that they've never brought him back. He was like Conan's buddy for a while. He had one arm, but he was still just a BA fighter. And you have basically have him and Belit killing all the Conans, and then the temple collapses, and there was a whole thing where the temple had a symbol in the last book that was like, someday, Conan, you're going to come to this temple, and craziness is going to happen, but you'll be fine.
So yeah, this is setting up for the new King Conan series, I guess, is what I gathered from that. So looking forward to that for sure.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know what they're...
A lot of King series coming out, huh?
planning it. Here's the thing. Conan is now technically in the public domain, which is why other people are writing books about the Cimmerian. Or there are other Conan-style books out right now because he is in the public domain, but because Marvel essentially put their foot on the word Conan, Conan is now Marvel's to work with so long as they're publishing. But, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot more of this universe out there as we go. We have him killing a bunch of Vikings who call themselves the Aesir, which is, and this is all supposed to be taking place after the Frost Giant's daughter, which is a whole actually old Conan myth. And they play it real close to the vest. Are these humans who have taken on the names of gods? Or are they gods here on Earth? Or are they people that are descendant of gods? Because we all know what gods do when they come to Earth.
Stoop everything in sight.
Absolutely. This is my favorite because this is basically the dude where's my car of Conan. Conan is getting drunk at a bar. Conan gets propositioned by adventure. Basically, if this were a D&D game, there is a NPC who's clearly top level getting drunk at the bar. The NPC, or the player characters, effectively, the local murder hobos approach him to say, here's this plan. Will you come and be our heavy? They bring him in. They go murder a bunch of stuff. All the time, Conan is drunk off his buttocks. In the end, he winds up killing everyone accidentally and on purpose. And winds up back at the bar. When he goes into his pouch to get more drinks, he finds a Fabergé egg. Or something. It's like, what is this? Why do I have this in my pouch? Can you give me beer for this? And the last one, which is honestly my favorite story, is Old Man Conan. Basically, he's in a bar telling all his stories, and he's got this sword of the old ones that he can't even really lift well anymore, and it's dragging everywhere he goes. Because this is his nightmare, that he's an old man that no one cares about. And he's more than happy to die in battle, but he knows there's no glory in killing him. So it's not cool anymore. But when he actually does face the servant of the elder gods, I don't know if this is Dweller in the Darkness or some nonsense, he still winds up killing the poor fool. With his Elder God sword, which is what he's been sent to get. I said, I need the Elder God sword back. He's like, yeah, I can pry it from my cold dead hands. And then, of course, he wakes up with his queen as King Conan. And she's like, just really being like, Conan, maybe just quit being a jerk all the time. You're a king. I'm your wife. We have great kids. Maybe don't always be like, oh, what a horrible life I led that I have to die a king. It's like, you can die an old man too, and no one cares. We all die, Conan. Get used to it.
Not right now.
Love me, my Conan.
Lilith,
Yes, dear.
you have another book?
I'll just talk about Army of Darkness 1979, number 1 real quick. So if you are a fan of The Evil Dead and Ash, this might be the book for you. This time it's gangs and zombies. So, In
Is
New
there
York,
like a warrior crossover in this?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
That would have been super cool. But definitely warrior vibes. Definitely when he gets to New York, and it's like gangs in New York, warriors, and the Evil Dead franchise. It was pretty cool. I didn't
That
even
sounds like a perfect
remember
mix.
this came out. It was just kind of on the shelf, and I was like, oh, okay. And who was it? It was Dynamite. So yeah, Dynamite put this book out. Kind of suits their brand, so.
All right, and I was gonna say I'll wrap up with mine. I don't know, Lilith. I don't know if you read this. Charlie, did you know Blue and Gold number 2 came out?
I did read that.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even see that on my list. I asked for the first one. I guess I didn't ask for the second one. They know I get weird about the where I say, give me the first issue. Then I forget to ask for the second. So anyway, what's going on with Blue and Gold number 2, Philip?
Lilith, did you say you read it?
I did.
Yeah, they stop a hijacking. Ted Cord gets ousted from Cord Industries.
They're like, yeah, Justice is like, haha, LOL, go away.
And Booster holds a press conference at the end to announce the
I am Iron Man. I was waiting on it.
the formation of Blue and Gold restoration. And I love, like, one of the people in the crowd's like, so you're heroes for hire?
Yes.
That is copyrighted, sir. Even Deadpool couldn't use it.
We're just mercs for money.
But he's like, it's free. We're funded by philanthropists. And Ted Cord's like, no, I just lost all my money. No.
Man, that's one thing about DC, man. Those billionaires are always losing their money, ain't they?
Oh yeah.
Well,
It's
a
almost
very
like
chaotic
Catwoman is around just draining the bank account.
Whoa.
To be fair, it's a very chaotic economy when you have superheroes. So I get the feeling like it's like Bitcoin. It's like all money is Bitcoin in that universe. So it's like, it's worth $1 billion. Oh, now it's worth 2.
I really think that this is Dan Jurgens' like sweet spot. I haven't really liked a lot of stuff that he's written lately, but this, I feel like there's no pressure on him to perform, as it were, and he is just going balls to the wall. He's able to do what he wants because these are such low profile characters that he can just do what he wants and have fun with it.
Yeah, too. He created Booster, so it's like who's better authority?
Getting his shekels,
Dan Jurgens, yeah.
Also, I think he's got real great synergy with Ryan Sick, who does the art. So.
Yeah.
This is a sleeper book for sure. It's kind of like Joker. It's like you might be on the fence about it, but I think you might be pleasantly surprised if you pick up the book. It's very funny, very funny. So if you're looking for a comic book that's like comedy and lighthearted, I think it's a good book to pick up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but yeah, it is good. Because you liked the first one, didn't you, Charlie Esser?
Yes, I did, very much so.
I mean, you're not even the biggest DC.
Like I said, I realized it was in the list because I do go through, but I guess Blue and Gold number 2 didn't jump out at me when I was going through the list. Because I was supposed to look at all the books I was cutting. I wanted to say, I should make sure that that's not gets pulled for me because I am done with that book. So, hello, checkmate.
Burn.
Is that even
it's not that they're not good stories, and I did Champions too, so it's not like it's a Marvel DC thing. It's just like, you know what? It's just I only have so many. There's only so many books I can read, so at a certain point, I have to stay. You know what? I'm not reading that book.
What
Black Manta is its own ongoing series, unfortunately.
is it? I thought it ended up being a miniseries. Black Manta's getting an ongoing, and Aquaman doesn't have an ongoing.
It's gonna last about 13 issues. Mark my words.
Yeah.
unless Aquaman 2 makes it something happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, villain books can only last a certain number of issues unless they do a face turn.
And again, how deep have
Unless
they
they move to anti-hero.
How deep have
Although,
they
to be
Black
fair,
Manta?
a pirate
Yeah,
in
Black
a
Manta
society...
is. If he hadn't killed Aquaman's son, he could have been an anti-hero. And we're gonna keep that orange part of that story. He can't ever be an anti-hero.
Yeah, well, yeah, you kill somebody's kid. It's
Like a
although
baby.
to be fair, Aquaman killed his father. So
That was fair game.
I don't know.
at
Maybe,
least in our universe, it's like, what is the equivalent? I can't kill your father, but I could kill your kid. And so now we're quints. We'll call it quints, okay?
maybe
Killed my dad. I killed your kid. You can make more kids. I can never make more dads. So
They also have a new villain called Devil Ray.
yeah.
Ugh.
So if you have a villain for the villain to fight, yeah, they're trying real hard to do a face turn with Black Manta. There's like, quick, what black characters do we have? They're all villains. Oh no! Quick, do some.
Isn't he like
face
the
turns.
only black villain, honestly?
John
Which is
Stewart,
odd. But they
to
made
be
Black
fair.
Manta black very recently.
John
That's
Stewart,
not been the case historically. So
This is true too.
Jon Stewart would like
This
to
is
have a word
true,
with you.
too. Yeah.
Jon
Okay. Fair
Stewart,
enough.
fix it. The list can go on.
Yeah. Actually, it's weird. They actually do have a lot of black heroes, and it's like,
Black
why are these like not when you want to do when you want to appeal to a broader audience? Why are these not brought out? They
Because
made
Superman
freaking
and
Falcon
Batman
Captain
sells.
America.
Amen.
I mean, Jon Stewart's been kind of in the forefront of the new Green Lantern series.
Well, and that's suspicious too. I mean, I'm happy for the character, but that's suspicious as well.
Oh my!
Considering they didn't want to make that Green Lantern movie, Jon Stewart, and it was supposed to be a Flash movie. Oh, God, that Green Lantern movie is giving me PTSD. I can't. Wrap it up, Philip.
Boy, what a down note to go out on Green Lantern movie.
Some people like it apparently, and I'm just like, you've never read a comic book in your life, have you? Like, well, no. I'm like,
and,
no,
like,
sad.
and Lil says, "This date is over."
Well,
All right.
yes. I will say I like Red Brown's Captain America
And I cannot.
and Lou Ferrigno's Hulk because I approach
And
them
that's
the
a
same way.
nostalgia factor for you. There's no reason anybody should like that Green Lantern movie outside if you find
I
Ryan
don't know,
Reynolds
man. That
hot in
came out like
CGI.
30 years ago, so
Green Lantern
I don't know when it came
That's
out,
what
but
the
it had.
CGI looks like.
10 years ago.
You know what? There were people that were 10 that saw it that are 20 now. So
And Lil.
if you were 10
That's
when you
Lil
saw it,
dating them right now.
if you were 10 when
Gotta
you
be
saw
old
it,
enough
you're
to
20
drink
now.
and 6 foot tall. Just,
Hey, Lil. Okay, they were 11 when they saw Green Lantern. Now they're old enough to drink. See, it's that kind of thing.
them's the rules, my friend. Them's the
Oh,
rules.
You're
no.
ready to fight. That's all I'm saying.
They have to be 21, and they have to say Superman can beat. Superman can beat Hulk in a fight. That's all. That's Lil's criteria to begin with to get a first date. All right, so
Don't be telling all the secrets. I don't need people sliding into my DMs.
I didn't say
I mean, to
anything.
be fair, Superman has ranged weapons that, really end the fight early.
True. Hulk is Captain of Bad Life Decisions. Hulk, Captain Bad Life Decisions. Anyway,
Well, no, unless you get Joe Fixit Hulk.
Bruce Banner!
So that's the trick with the Hulk. It's like, oh yeah, Superman can beat certain Hulks.
well, they're all
But there
offshoots
are
of Banner.
Hulks.
Yo. Come on.
There are Hulks that will wake up at night and say, okay, let's see how we break this guy. Because obviously, physically, it's going to be a little hard, but you know what?
Ew.
Just kill
Maybe we
Lois.
can break it. Just kill Lois. Well, honestly, that's always the danger because it's like, you kill Perry White and you kill
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. You leave
Sounds like a
Lois
plan,
alone
Jimmy.
because you know Lois is the one that's going to snap him, but you want to break him down slowly. And then you
That's
show up
a
as
really
Bruce
nice
Banner
package.
and you start talking to Lois, and suddenly it's like, oh, well, no.
He ain't got no money. She ain't interested.
Like Superman has money?
That farm's sitting on oil. Just between us folks.
I'm just saying.
Hey, Big
Hulk can make as many diamonds as he needs to. So, it's like... Touche. It's like, if I need the money, he's got the money. It's like,
And suddenly the Vegas lifestyle makes
and
so
one
much more
thing
sense.
Casualty Comics has taught us is Lois is more than happy to entertain other offers.
Oh, does she? She married his own father one time.
A lot of meat.
I love Casualty Comics. She's the
As
best.
do I. She
Look
is
at these.
awesome. Canada's finest export.
Whoa. Damn
Suck
big.
it, Justin Bieber.
Whoa!
And on that note, we really should go because that's an upbeat note.
I like that ending. All right, kids. So, yes, send us your thoughts on all the comics we discussed today. Hey, send us your thoughts. This big Nick Spencer Amazing Spider-Man wrap-up is coming. End of October. I think we're going to be talking to Kelly Thompson when we get the bed rally in here. So, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find links to all of the social medias for all of our shows to keep up to date on what we're doing and what show's going where. Because this feed is going to be mostly Marvel starting in October. So, yes, follow all the social medias. Find a link to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I know, Lil. Don't give me the finger. Yes, links to the YouTube. Links to the Patreon. More and more important now that we are be our own free agents in October.
The patients are running the asylum. I repeat.
And funding this ourselves. So, yes, please, if you can, subscribe to the Patreon. Give what you can. Or make a one-time deposit and get yourself some merch.
Take a sip, cover your nips, and protect your phone.
That's
Maybe
right.
even get sticky with it.
Hey-oh. Yeah. So, yes, find links to all of that all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capes and lunatics. All right, Lil Hellfire. People want to talk superheroes on a first date with you. Where can they get a hold of you?
You nerds want to hang with me on the interwebs for some random reason. You can find me on Twitter @LilithHellfire, on Instagram @LilithHellfire69, and of course on TikTok, making comments and only Star Trek related content. I cannot stress this enough. It's very niche. @LilithHellfire69.
I'm 12 when you need me to be 12.
Bye, Felicia.
Charlie Esser.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. All one word. With the at in there. And of course, follow me on the Twitters like the hot kids do when I live tweet things that I can get on my TV, which is not Channel 11 anymore, which is CW, because Locast is gone. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIESSER. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Please keep supporting us. Please keep listening, subscribing. The podcast, the YouTube. Again, go to the Patreon, please. No,
Topless movie reviews.
Oh, that's right. Wait till next year, man. We're going to start doing brackets. We're going to find that worst superhero movie. What?
Toxic Avenger is coming.
Hey-oh. For another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics. Hey, there's a Toxin book out, Extreme Carnage Toxin #1.
Oh, do you mean this book, Lilith?
I do indeed, sir. I figured you would have it.
Yes, of course. Purchased for my Tristan. Read it myself. Awesome book. We'll talk about it on Super Connectivity.
And there's the cliffhanger.
And remember, Rich Man, you didn't do it. Good night.